Hi there, Jeremy O'Carroll, founder and director of the Om Reiki Center here. Fantastic that you're interested in doing level 2. Level 2 in many ways is actually the most important Reiki level of them all. I remember when I first did level 1 many years ago, and it was in India, they told us a story and they said that in level 1 Reiki you get 25% of your Reiki energy. Then they said in level 2 you get an additional 50%. And then in level 3, the final 25%. And while I don't take these figures, literally, there is always some truth in these sorts of stories. And the truth is that level 2 is critical to your Reiki practice. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the essence of level 2 has been lost to the vast majority of Reiki courses around today. In fact, I estimate that about 99% of Reiki courses are missing as much as 50% of the original information taught in level 2. Now, how did this happen? Well, it happened quite simply because when Reiki was introduced from Japan to the West to a lady called Mrs. Takata in Hawaii, she greatly simplified the system to make it really accessible to everyone at that time. But for the next 50 odd years, the original systems got lost. So it wasn't until the mid-1990s that the very traditional Japanese Reiki system re-emerged, and from that moment onwards we could see that many of the techniques were lost. But because most teachers had now learnt in the Mrs. Takata tradition, they continued to teach what she taught, and as a result, almost everyone teaching today is missing really critical components of the level 2 course. Now, I'm going to talk to you more about this later on. For now though, let me tell you a little bit about what you can expect from level 2. Level 2 is really a critical level for changing the way you experience energy on the inside. So of course it's going to improve your healing ability, but in many ways the thing which will change the most is your inner sensitivity to Qi, your ability to connect to Qi, and your ability to channel more Qi through your body without being overwhelmed by the energy. So it's a tremendous level because it will enable you to really grow kind of energetic muscles. It's like energetic bodybuilding, where at the end you're going to be able to do so much more with energy than before. Now, the main two areas that level 2 work with are through symbols and mantras. Now, let's look at the symbols first. In level 2, you've got 3 symbols that you're going to be taught. As a result, we have 3 attunements. Each attunement will attune you to one of the symbols. And these symbols do different things. For instance, the first symbol is known as the power symbol, the second one the mental/emotional symbol, and the third one's the distance symbol. And so that third one will enable you to do distance Reiki. So you'll be able to heal people anywhere around the world. In fact, you're even going to be able to heal things that happened in the past and work towards healing things or strengthening things that will occur in the future. Now, the sad thing though, as I mentioned, is that a lot of the original techniques got lost. So actually you'll discover in my course that there are 2 ways to use Reiki symbols. And the first is a very traditional way where you almost use the symbols in a sense like a magnifying glass. You draw them on the client and you do Reiki through them, and boom, it amplifies the effect of your healing. The second way though is more to help you get into a certain state. So this is a very traditional Japanese way where they say the symbol's not really for the other person, it's for you, and the symbol helps get you in the zone in a sense, and when you're in a specific zone, then you'll be able to heal certain things more effectively. So there are 2 very powerful ways to use the symbols. Both work, but you're really helped out a lot if you have both methods at your disposal. The other key element in the courses are these mantras. Now, mantras have actually been lost almost entirely to the Mrs. Takata/Western tradition. So again, I'd say about 99% of courses don't actually teach these Reiki mantras, but mantras, as we know, are sound. Sound is an energetic vibration. So what we can actually do is use these mantras to really help strengthen certain parts of your body, because every part of your body actually vibrates at a certain energetic frequency. So we can use these mantras a bit like a tuning fork, so they can tune these different parts of your body so they can bring balance back to them and they can strengthen them. So they're incredibly important. And one of the other things they're going to do is help strengthen your hara. Now, the hara is a very important energy center in your body, and in many different spiritual traditions, many martial arts, this is the key energy area to work with, and it's just the same in the traditional Japanese Reiki. The hara can be found a few centimeters below the navel, and when it's strong, you'll be kind of energetically grounded. It'll provide a perfect foundation for more, extreme energy work. So by that I mean, the more advanced energy techniques, you'll have that grounding so you won't be knocked off balance when you do them. Many energy workers find that they're very sensitive to energy, the energy of those around them, to their environment. And as a result, it's very easy for them to pick up negative energy, and this is a real problem. Now, sometimes people use fancy techniques for shielding themselves, but the problem with this is when you shield yourself from something negative, what are you focusing on? You're focusing on the negative thing, so it tends to grow. Also, sometimes these shields can become a bit of a prison, which isn't great. So my preferred method is to show you how to create a really strong energetic foundation. So you'll be a bit like a mountain. The storms can, blow and rumble, the rains can fall, but you'll just stand there solid and it won't really affect you. And that's the feeling you'll have when you have a very strong energetic base. And these mantras are pure gold when it comes to creating this energetic base. Now, in level 2, you're also going to be learning some other skills. For instance, you'll be learning some very traditional Japanese Reiki meditations. And what I discovered, and now it took me some time, I discovered over many years that these meditations are actually foundational for a lot of the more advanced Reiki techniques. So they're very important, but many of these have been lost to the Western system. We'll also be working with your intuition. One of the big changes from level 1 to level 2 is in level 1, people very typically work a lot with the set hand positions. But in level 2, I want you to start working more with your intuition, because every person you deal with is unique. And so it makes sense to give them a unique healing session. And you're going to be able to do this best if you really develop your intuition. Now, one of the reasons my courses is different from many others is because it is so detailed. Some of the ways where we add the detail, and it's not just our detailed manual, but we've got things like a 21-day e-course that follows the course. And the idea here is that e-course will help consolidate everything you learn and extend it. Because what I don't want is for this course to be a bit like the gym membership, where you go along, you have a great weekend, but bit by bit after that, the busyness of your everyday life kind of consumes you and you forget about your practice. If you practice consistently for roughly 3 weeks, afterwards you'll find that you kind of own the skills that you learn, and as a result you'll want to keep practicing in them because you'll see just how much benefit you're getting from them. I've also got a video portal, and this video portal gives you a whole lot of videos and articles that will help extend your practice beyond what we do at the course. I'm available to you as well, both before the course, when you're preparing for it, and afterwards. So you're always going to be able to write to me, you're going to be able to call me with any questions you have. So you have that guidance, because often questions will arise and you want to know that if you have some questions which are maybe very specific to your own practice, that you've got someone you can go to get answers. Now, if you haven't studied Reiki with me before, that's fine too. I don't insist that people have studied level 1 with me. What I will do, however, is really help you prepare for level 2. I will give you the level 1 Reiki e-course for my course. So I'll get you to go through that before the course, and that will help prepare you for it. I'll give you access to our level 1 and level 2 video portal. Now, in that video portal, amongst other things, there's a video from level 1 which actually summarizes everything in about 25 minutes that we studied in the course. And that's done as a kind of a mind map video, and you can download this mind map so you'll have an easy reference to everything we covered. And along the journey, if you've got any questions, then you can just ask me that before the course. So it really won't be a problem. I get a lot of people in every level 2 I do, usually 1, 2 or even more, who have previously done level 2 with somewhere else, but they really just felt that they could get a lot more out of it. They knew they could, and so that's why they came to me. The great thing about level 2 also is that it's considered the practitioner level. So as far as Reiki associations are concerned and insurance, you just need to get level 2 to be able to practice professionally. And so when you come to any one of my courses, my certificates, because I've been lucky to study with some of the best teachers around the world, I've studied in places like mainland USA, Hawaii, Thailand, India, Australia, with some of the really best teachers in the world. And so they're recognized everywhere. So wherever you go in the world, your certificates will be recognized by the major Reiki associations. How do you decide whether the course is right for you? Well, the best way really is to use your intuition and just follow that. Sometimes your intuition tells you crazy things. If so, follow it regardless, because my experience has shown that when you follow your intuition, you always get a great result. But some other ways to really work it out is you can read some of the articles. If you click on the Reiki articles link up top, you'll find that I've got a whole lot of Reiki articles I've written. Read some of those and you'll get a feel for my teaching style. You can also read some of the testimonials. I've got a section there which is exclusive to level 2. So it only talks about students who have done level 2 and their experiences. So you can read through some of those. I've got a newsletter which I send out every 1 or 2 weeks, and in that newsletter I always write a detailed article to do with Reiki or meditation. So you can sign up for that. Just go into the side of the page, you'll see a form there for you which you can fill out. Just put your name and email address, and if you do that, you'll start to receive the newsletter. So again, you just get a feel for my writing style, for my teaching. The other way, of course, is just to give me a call. And, you know, I really recommend this. Sometimes it's the easiest way to get a feel for whether level 2 is right for you, whether my Reiki course is right for you, is just to speak to me. I'd love to tell you more. So please, if you're interested, do give me a call, and I'd love to, you know, help clarify whether my course is for you, and indeed whether Reiki 2 is for you at this point in time. I know from experience that it will do absolute wonders for your Reiki, that it will improve it out of sight, it will really improve your connection to energy, but timing is important. So if you want, just give me a call and we'll talk about it. Thank you.